Hello everybody and welcome to another Modern stream. Today we're going to be doing something pretty special. This past weekend MTG Las Vegas actually took place, and it was a fantastic top 8. We had a very cool and very diverse top 8, which was very awesome to see. And surprisingly enough, the one deck that actually got 2 copies into the top 8 was Amulet. So, piloted by the one and only, hanging out right here in chat, Leviathan 102. On, where is it? 6th place? 5th place? Here we go. Levi got 6th place with this beautiful Karn list that we're going to be playing today. And also, in 7th place, Andy Wilson, another friend of the stream, fantastic player, also got there with a slightly different version of Karn Amulet. So we're going to be trying out both of these deck lists today, but I wanted to start the stream by, just kind of taking a trip through this top 8 and seeing like some pretty cool and some honestly kind of unexpected results in a way. Number one, Rakdos midrange winning the whole thing, like the whole red-black Den of the Bugbear Aspiring Spike deck taking it down is very surprising to me. But yeah, I mean, it just that's how the cards were dealt this time around, and I have to be fair that Torak is a heck of a card right now. And a lot of people seem to be sleeping on it. But Torak is a card that is just really well positioned right now, and it's extremely underplayed for how good it is. And this is far and away, not even remotely close, the best Torak deck in the entire format. So if you're expecting to see like a bunch of Solitudes, which for what I hear is what people saw in this event, Torak is exactly where you want to be. Like, there's very few ways that the blue-white X decks can get rid of a Torak, so it's definitely a fantastic thing to do. And yes, exactly, you have Levi. This is the deck that actually knocked you out of the top 8 in the quarterfinals. And yes, like that combo of Dothi Voidwalker into Thoughtseize, it's very effective against decks like Amulet. So this deck is kind of weird, but at the same time, it's so powerful. Like the raw power level of the cards is so high. And we've been seeing this trend in Modern for a minute now, that the fair decks are king right now. Like in the past, I do remember everybody saying, oh, Modern is boring because, every single deck is just 2 ships passing in the night and everything is combo decks. And those days are long gone right now. And mid-range decks are definitely the kings of the format. So it doesn't surprise me to see a mid-range deck. I'm slightly surprised that it was the Rakdos mid-range specifically. I was expecting to see some 4-color controls, some 4-color Omnath pile with like Yorion or without it, or something like the John Saga deck on top. But it is not that surprising that a fair deck actually took down the entire event. On second place, speaking of combo, we actually have 4-color Creativity. This, in my opinion, is the big surprise. And this is not to say that this is a bad deck, because like Sack Mana Symbol actually won a challenge like a week or 2 ago. So clearly this deck is legit. Clearly this deck is very good. It's just surprising to me that this deck managed to like... Because if you want to beat this deck, it isn't really that hard. Like there's multiple ways, multiple avenues to attack this deck, and like the mana base is super clunky. The deck takes a bazillion damage from its own land, so matchups like Burn can be a little bit problematic. It is sort of surprising to see this deck making it all the way to the finals, but it's a powerful combo deck. It turns out that in 2021, just cheating an Emrakul into play is still a very solid and valid strategy. And when you play it alongside a Serra's Emissary, which means that your opponent literally cannot deal with the Emrakul, then you're probably gonna be having a good time, But yeah, Emrakul in a world of solitude is interesting. But I guess that if you have Serra's Emissary to protect it, you're just fine. But yeah, not too much to say about this deck, except that, It's a cool deck, it's powerful, and I think it's a pretty bad matchup for Amulet. So that part sucks. On third place, we got John Saga. This is what I would have expected to be the go-to mid-range deck in the format. I think this deck is super, super powerful. I think that the whole don't play bad cards, only play good cards philosophy is very effective, and it's taken to the extreme in this deck. So we have, like, this deck is an established part of the format, so like it's not so much about the deck list itself, but more so about its positioning. Abrupt Decay is an interesting addition to me. So that is the one card that I'm like, why this? Like, I would imagine that you would want something like Call Against Command in the main deck. Like, it's a lot more flexible, it's a lot better against what I would have expected, and I think that it was one of the most played decks in the format in Hammer Time. So Abrupt Decay is kind of a question mark, particularly because you have such good options that are so well positioned. So that is the only interesting thing. One funny thing that this deck has that is playing no lightning bolts at all, and it's playing fatal pushes instead, which is very, very interesting. So 4 heat, 2 fatal pushes, don't play lightning bolt apparently. Lightning bolt is washed. It's just not. That's not what we're doing. Decay is just flexible call for Chalice and Rest in Peace and Cigar the Sale while also killing creatures. Yeah. I understand what the card does. It's just I'm surprised that you would want this in the main deck as opposed to Call Against Command. Like, this seems like, particularly against like Rest in Peace, you definitely want access to Abrupt Decay, but nobody's gonna be jamming Rest in Pieces in game 1. Like, nobody is that doing, yeah, 100% push seems like a very smart addition. Like, playing push over Lightning Bolt is very, very smart in my opinion. But yeah, it's just like the case. I just feel like the Call Against Command could be a better main deck card than Abrupt Decay, but that's the only thing. And again, I'm not a Junt gamer by any chance, so it's just interesting. And here is the biggest. How did Infect sneak into the top 8? When I heard this, it blew my mind. Infect sneaking into the top 8 in a field of Solitudes and Holy Heats, apparently fatal pushes, and yeah, somehow this version of Infect, backing 4 copies of Phyrexian Crusader alongside the 4 Blighted Agent, managed to get all the way to the top 8, in fact top 4. So yeah, so the big reason here is Phyrexian Crusader, right? Like, this card just lines up very, very well against removal in the format. Like, you can't bolt this, you can't heat it, you can't fury it, you can't solitude it. So it's very, very hard to get rid of Phyrexian Crusader, and a lot of decks are literally just cold to it. So the fact that if you're going to be playing something like Infect, I feel like you just have to be playing Phyrexian Crusader. So like Green-Black Infect has seen a pretty strong resurgence. This deck also tries to hedge a little bit, and is also using what is probably the best Infect creature in the business, which is Blighted Agent. So it's really interesting to me, the fact that stretching the mana base, I guess, could be worth it for specifically one card when you have Plague Stinger as another card. Like, Plague Stinger, like, instead of being unblockable, it just has flying, and your mana base could be smoother. So that part kind of surprises me a little bit, but it is cool to see Infect still doing thing. I mean, not great for us Amulet gamers, because yeah, this matchup is terrible. But no, you can't Prismatic End in a Crusader. You can't. It's white. But yeah, Infect making it to the top 8. Like, I predicted that there was gonna be a wild card. I just did not expect it to be this wild. If we can put it in words, because this is a hell of a wild card. But it's just good against Hammer, lets you get through Eternal, you're living a protection better than Flyer at least. Yeah, I understand that, but like, it seems, I guess that you're not stretching your mana that much. You just have like a single Breeding Pool, and that's it. I just wonder how much you could get punished You know, if you like fetch your breeding pool to test the Blighted Agent, and then you top deck a Crusader, and you have like Forest breeding pool, and then you're like not even close to casting the Crusader. But I guess that, you know, this deck is not really looking to get to turns number 4 and plus. Like, you're just trying to get the game done by turn 3, 4 at the latest. So I would expect that if you have an agent hand, you just go for breeding pool. If you have a Crusader hand, just go for Overgrown Tomb, and that's kind of it. But yeah, 44% global win rate. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Turns out there were 2 wild cards. Turns out there were actually 2 wild cards in this top 8. Hardened Scales, getting actually as the number 1 seed. The number 1 seed was Hardened Scales. And wow. wow. What a wild thing. So anyway, like, this deck list is sweet. First of all, 25 lands. Love it. Finally somebody is like, yo, like, this Ursa Saga thing, maybe I like to cast my spells, you know? Maybe I want to cast my spells, and like, this Saga is gonna destroy itself, so that kind of sucks. So how are we gonna do this? Well, you just play more lands. It's just as easy as that. Just play 25 lands, and whoops, didn't mean to do that. Just play 25 lands, and that makes it so your Sagas getting destroyed, it's not that hurtful. Also, you want to be activating the Saga abilities. So when I see these affinity deck lists with like 18 lands, 4 of which are Ursa Sagas, it just blows my mind. But yeah, so Hangerbug Walker, Ballista, Arcbind Walker, and Sabas being the new addition. This is from MH2. So this is basically like a mini Arcbound Ravager / mini Hardened Scales, which is kind of interesting. And it's pretty powerful in this deck specifically, obviously. The 3 Ingenious Smith are kind of interesting. Like, you can't modular into this thing. It's like a little bit of card advantage, but like, I guess you can technically whiff, so I don't know. It's interesting to see Ingenious Smith as opposed to more copies of Ancient Steerings or something like that, but pretty sweet. And Witch's Oven as a one-off to like create some food and be able to sack your dudes for value is actually kind of sick. Like, this is pretty smart. I hadn't seen Witch's Oven in Hardened Scales before, and the more that I think about it, it's so smart. You can get it off of Saga, you can sack your... you can pop your Hangerback Walker, you can sack your worker to like move the counters around, you can get another artifact for Arcbind Ravager, you can get like life against burn. Yeah, the one of Witch's Oven is insane. Like, it's so sick. I love it. Love it. So very cool to see Hardened Scales back again. Then we'll be talking about the Amulet deck lists in a second, but the last deck is obviously for color control. I don't think that this surprised anybody. This deck is just very, very strong, so it is just one of the fair mastodons of the format. Also, holy shit, is Renin 6 expensive? Really? A playset is almost $500? Jesus. Damn, okay. That's crazy to me. But yeah, no Teferi Hero of Dominaria is interesting. We're playing Furies instead. I assume that is a metagame consideration, expecting a lot of hammers and stuff, which makes sense. Probably this player got paid off handsomely by making that decision. Anyway, so we're gonna be starting off with Levi's deck list, and we're gonna be talking about Andy's in the other video. But Levi's deck list is just magnificent, is what I would call it. Very, very close to what I registered in the showcase, except we're playing the 4th card in the main deck. I've been really, really loving having access to more Asusas, so I'm definitely surprised to see only one Asusa here. So I would be interested in hearing your thoughts about it, Levi, for sure. So it's like the only thing that really surprises me, but everything else in the main deck is just beautiful. I love every single bit of it. Couple of castles, couple of caverns, the basics, like 4 sagas, like the mana base is just great. and the rest of the deck list feels super smooth. The only thing that really surprises me is just only a single copy of Azusa. I've been very impressed by just playing multiple copies lately, so playing Explore over it seems interesting to me. If we played 61 cards, second Azusa would be in there. Yeah, of course. It's just like, I don't know, like I value the second Azusa a lot higher than the second Explore, personally. That's just the thing that surprises me. And the sideboard is, I feel like, and this is something that I said, like I've been playing these members in my sideboard, but I've been consistently saying this is the flex slot. Like I'm not sure if this member is even worth it, and neither of the Amulet deck lists that we're going to be playing today is playing this member. So get rid of the dismember, play some more tutor targets, or in the case of this, we can play more lands like Ghost Squatter, Bojuka Ball, Cavern of Souls, Ghost Squatter in the sideboard. Some extra tutor targets in Piting Needle and Relic. Relic also is nice because we can just like bring it in bring it into the main deck in the matchups where we want it. Then Outland Liberator, I've been very excited about this card. I think this is I like this better than Foundation Breaker, and I've been having better success with this than Foundation Breaker. Or I just liked it better. Like having access to a way to get rid of Torpor can be very important. Endurance, 1 copy, 2 copies of Force, 2 explosives, 1 ballista, and Golos Tireless Pilgrim as a 1 copy. I see a lot of people wondering about this. This is right here taking the slot of Wormcoil Engine. And I think that is smart if you expect to see Solitudes, and slightly worse if you expect to see more Lurus Red-Black X decks. So I imagine that Levi expects to see more Solitudes, so Golos makes a lot more sense. Like this card is absolutely fantastic against Solitude decks, allowing you to find like your Saga if you need to grind, your T-West if you need a Titan, your Cavern if you need to make the Primetime uncounterable, or even your basic Forest against the Blood Moon deck. Like I was very impressed with Golos. I played this when I played in the mocks. I was playing 1 copy of Golos in the sideboard, and Golos was fantastic. And with Golos, we're playing 1 copy of Golgari Rot Farm in place of the 3rd Sanctuary, or 2nd Garou Turf, like however you want to see it. Where we're playing the 1 copy so we can randomly activate the Golos ability, which can matter sometimes. But yeah, super cool, super clean deck list. I love it, and we're going to be playing it through a league right now. So if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for round number 1. Alright, no green sources, so ship it. Yes, green sources, so I think we keep this. And what to bottom? If I bottom a Growth Chamber, I can use map to get another one. I think I want to keep these 3. So the question is whether I bottom this or the Growth Chamber. I think I'm going to bottom the Growth Chamber. If I need to get a Growth Chamber with this, I can, I guess. Cavern of Souls. On Goblin. Okay. Okay, so that means that I'm gonna go for turn 1 Amulet so I can turn 2 this Dryad. Why is not to get another one if you have another one in hand? Because I'm not gonna, like, this gives me the flexibility to go get a Tolera West if I need it. Goblin War Chief. John Late, did you see why they're Rot Farm over Turf for Sanctuary? Because there's Golos in the sideboard. I mean, Snoop is not bugged if you are playing Goblins, right? Yeah, you're fine, Better Otter. It's no big deal. think I want to play one of these Gracers as a blocker. This also allows me to play map. Now do I want to play a second Gracer and crack this map? Next turn I can transmute. Following turn I play a Titan. But I can transmute anyways next turn. So I can save the Gracer, which is going to net me mana next turn. Oh, Snook can tap for mana? Okay. Yeah, my opponent can also just not exploit the bug. That's also an option. If they have the removal spell guy, we are in a lot of trouble though. Here's hoping they don't have it. That looks like they have it. And they have it. Okay. It's a lot of random critters. So I guess I should have played the Gracer. Huh. Play Growth Chamber. That's 4. 5. Can't transmute. I can Karn, but it doesn't really do anything. I think I really have to get another land into play here. And I think it's gonna give me less mana, but I probably have to play this Gracer. Oops, sorry. Almost fell there. So just gonna do this, crack map, and I think we're just gonna get a Saga. Gonna throw some blockers in front of my opponent's stuff. And wish that there is no Lord involved. I think I may have forgotten to update the Stream Decker. There we go. Wasn't really in the tank about whether to play this or not. They have all that stuff, but I only took 3 damage that turn. I can just make a token? Make a token, next turn find Amulet. Play Karn. Following turn Karn for Ballista. I think that's the plan. It's not a great plan, but Grazer's working overtime over here. Tron. That's a problem because that gets a Lord. Just getting beaten down by random gobos. To be fair, we wouldn't have been able to cast Cultivator anyway, so Karn not necessarily worse than Cultivator right at this spot. No, that does not work like that, Da Vinci. Not quite how that works. Okay, this is probably lethal. So we make a token. We have to block the Sling Gang with the construct. Then we block there, and then we block anywhere else. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this is not lethal. What seemed better out of Golos, Kai Sovereign, or Wormcoil out of the sideboard? Any thoughts on it yet? This is literally the first game that I'm playing. Because the timing on the boss? No, because it's one ability. It's one set of permutations. So you can't change things in between. Oh no, this is actually just lethal. Yeah, they just sack everything that's blocked. And we take Xaxes. Yeah, this is Xaxes. Never mind. It is lethal, yeah. Okay. So I guess that turn that I did not play the Grazer ended up punishing me. I'm expecting Blood Moon. And I think that's about it. Don't think I should be playing Force, however. Let's go with something like this. Wasn't sure whether to bring a needle. I think that if you're playing 4 Karns, like Karn is good in the matchup, right? Like it just didn't line up well against their draw right there, but overall Karn is just a good card in the matchup. So by having access to 4 Karns, you basically have access to 4 needles. It's probably like the first thing that I'm gonna do. Like if I resolve Karn, I'm just gonna Karn for needle. Okay, what do we got here? Explosives is pretty good in the matchup. I think this is a slow, but this is what we call a reluctant keep. This is what we call a reluctant keep. You keep this hand because you probably have to, but like you're not stoked about it. And we can lose to a variety of things here. It's nice that we can interact with Snoop on turn 2. That's pretty powerful overall. Do I think my opponent is going to Blood Moon me on turn 2? I think that if they do, like it sucks, but it is what it is. I could play around it by playing Liberator here, but that is also pretty bad if my opponent... that's pretty bad if they have like the removal spell guy, and then I can't. Don't do it. How can I get Discord sub-roll? Want to study those juicy cyber guides? You should have it. Did you... NES, thank you for the follow. Did you... what was I gonna say? Sub on... Did you sub on your phone? Because I've had people have that issue, which is very weird. Letting my opponent tap with this noob here. It's a little bit potentially problematic, but I think I kind of have to. They can play Pashalik once from the top. But if they do that, that's another turn that I don't have to crack explosives, which is nice. Sure. Aether Vial on top. So they're just going to play another Ignoble. We can take some damage here, or I can just... I think I'm just going to crack this Snoop. I'm going to have to anyways. It's not a good draw. It's not a good draw. Could have packed it there, but... So Snoop right now has the ability of any card on top of the deck. Just any permanent at all. Yeah. Tap to add red. That's very funny. Another Snoop. Well, better don't have it, because they're dead next turn. And I use my main deck explosive, so I can't transmute for it. So here's a Primeval Titan. Let's get a Valakut, and let's get, I guess, a Radiant Fountain at this point. There's an argument for getting a basic forest in case of Blood Moon, but I have the Liberator in play, so I don't think it's a good argument. They drew the Matron. They're missing 1 mana to kill me. So I'm not dead on board. Because they did miss the land drop last turn, and we know that they didn't draw land. So unless they have the Harbinger in hand already, which they could, apparently they don't. Why the one of outlining the sideboard mainly for Saga? Are you familiar with the card Blood Moon? Having access to something that you can pact for to get rid of the card Blood Moon is very strong. And oh, we know that they drew a land. Like I'm actually an idiot. So we were just getting slow rolled. Never mind. Like yeah, it was funny because like I said that it would tap for mana. Yeah, so I remember that. All right, we died. See you next round. All right, playing against the Yorion deck. I imagine it's Benny Hill, so I imagine some sort of blue-white control. I could go turn 1 Saga with this hand. I think it's fine. I think I'm gonna go turn 2 Saga. If they have Spreading Seas, that sucks, but... yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think something in Twitch is messed up. Okay, so it's not a blue-white control deck. Glad that we figured that out. Marsh Flats, Basic Plains, Mishra's Bubble. Expedition map. Okay. Imagine they're just gonna get Caldra. Yeah. We want to get those amulets in play as soon as I can. There's an argument for just like not caring about making a construct and just playing Dryad there so I can play the third Saga and then we can just go over the top of whatever it is that they're doing. Taking this 5. So Ghost Quarter sucks. They let me untap? Why would they allow me to have an amulet? Why would they just give me an amulet? I mean, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, I'll take it. I'm just confused. Kind of weird. Anyway, whatever. What's my take on Levi's list? I'm playing it right now. 406. I am very confused at that Ghost Quarter. I guess that's why? Yeah, I don't know. Still doesn't seem like a good idea to let me have an amulet, even for a turn. So, can't Titan here. What we can do, however, is to play this out. And let's make it. Oh, I could Titan. I'm just an idiot. Yeah, I'm just an idiot. I'm just an idiot. Yeah. Sometimes I just brain fart my way out of winning lines. I mean, we seem to be in a pretty insanely good spot anyways. We're just sagaing them to death. In fact, this may have been the better play anyways, because if I go for the Titan line, then my opponent gets to Solitude my Dryad, and I may actually be in a problematic spot. So the more that I think about it, I think that by just brain farting, I stumbled into the better line. I just stumbled across the better line by accident. You'll love to see it. Yeah, Levi's here. So, they're playing I think they're playing an Oswald deck. So I think I want forces. I don't like forces against Taxes decks. But I think that because my opponent's not playing a Taxes deck, I do want forces. Probably same with Liberator. Karn looks unreasonable in this matchup. Karn looks straight up unfair in this matchup. This hand makes a lot of mana. We just have to draw a threat, I guess. I'm gonna hold on to the breeding pool because this can allow me to, with the double amulet, this allows me to transmute by itself. Oh yes, you love to see the Darksteel Citadel. The deck itself, more people picking it up. I think that more people picking up Amulet is sort of irrelevant because the new people that are picking up Amulet are not going to be doing well in events. So new people picking up the deck doesn't really affect the deck's overall win rate and like existence in the meta or presence in the metagame. Because the established players are the only ones that win with it, like the people that have been playing it for a while. It's just a switch in the metagame from red removal towards white removal. People slowing down on the whole Murktide thing, playing less Murktides and more for color controls. Sword of Feast and Famine. That's a big, big problem. Yep, that's a really big issue. That's a really, really big issue. Yep. Lightning Greaves. The 1-2 punch. Force, huh? Okay. So we Karn say no. We plus on the Greaves. 3, 4, 5. This means that Karn doesn't die here. We're also locking them out of mana. First time you've seen that interaction? Oh yeah. This it makes it so equipments fall off. It's very important against Hammer. It's a very, very important interaction against Hammer. And now I'm gonna be able to use, so everything goes at Karn, unsurprisingly. And now I can plus on my own Amulet to protect my Karn. If they have another portable hold, that's a problem, but dispatch, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's a problem. So now Karn down. Would love to draw another one. Or any untapped land. Any untapped land that we can be potentially in okay shape. Force would also be nice. That sucks. It's not a good draw. Okay, so next turn we can finally cast this Primeval Titan. Will it be enough though? Because we're gonna get raised by this Yorion. Wet Ball is fine. Wet Ball is fine, it just wasn't expected it really. Take 7. Discard that. Crucible of Worlds. I imagine they're just gonna get Kaldra here, which they can just hardcast, which is funny. Nettle Cyst. I mean, we're one Dryad away from turning this around, for what's worth. We are one Dryad away from just turning this around straight up, so... So let's set that up. Let's set that up. Oh, never mind. Okay. So my opponent just had the perfect hand. So they just had the perfects then, so it doesn't matter. So by doing this, I was gonna discard the Saga to the sword. Then I probably chomp the Nettle Cyst, because I have to. Oh, that would have just been lethal? Okay, never mind. So I guess it didn't matter. But then I could have bounced the double T-West and taken it from there. I mean, Clan 9 after double Titan top 8. Well, I mean, the better the Titan does, the sadder that I get, really, right? Because now people are thinking about bringing back Ashiok and playing more Mill. In a weird sort of way, I don't want Titan to do well because I like doing well myself. And the better the Titan does, the more then that I have to, you know, play against decks that are not easy to beat. Oops. Okay, so what do we got here? Another weird hand. This one has a route to Titan, though. If I go turn 1 Saga, I can make tokens. I think I want to turn 1 Castle. I'll be having any final thoughts on the mythic beast plant creature. I think it's good. Definitely worth exploring, is what I would say. Opponent out there bending that fiddle. Why would you want to bend a fiddle? That's the part that I don't understand. If you bend the fiddle, you break it. Don't you want to play the fiddle? This card makes no sense. Primeval Titan off the top. So if they activate, which they kind of have to, they have to go get Damping Sphere. So if they activate and go get Damping Sphere, they don't get a Saga token, which means that we can start doing the... You Extreme, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so here comes the Damps. Oh, whoops. Guess if they go get Needle and they name Saga, we're in trouble. I misclicked here. I wanted to make a token of response. Oh, interesting. Okay. Don't necessarily agree with my opponent's play there. for 3. They can make a Saga token here, which would be pretty large. Yeah, it's an interesting interaction. It's kind of weird how it works. I don't think it's very good for what's worth. So 1, that's 4. Yeah, so if my opponent's not careful, like if they don't answer my Amulet, or they don't answer my Saga, or they don't answer my T-West, we can just Titan them and kill them. But I imagine this is the turn where they're gonna go for... They're gonna go for Damping Sphere. Sacking probably the Springleaf Drum. Oh, sacking the token. Okay. So they do answer the Portable Hole. They probably have Dispatch. We draw another blank. Wow. It's pretty impressive, honestly. Quite impressive how we have managed to draw nothing but blank pieces of cardboard. Sure, you want to trade? It's kind of great for us. So now they're gonna get Dumping Sphere. Can they win here? Well, I think they're playing an infinite combo. So like Lightning Greaves plus there's like a 4-drop creature that goes infinite. You just start moving around the Lightning Greaves between 2 creatures, and it just grows every time you use an activate ability from an artifact or something like that. So they can just make an infinitely large dude. I don't know how they're getting through. But yeah, they can definitely win. Oh, Shadow Spear gives trample. There you go. Yeah, my opponent's been drawing a lot better than I have in their 80 card deck. By a lot, actually. They've been drawing a lot better than I have. Here comes the Dumping Sphere. What does Saga do for me here? Could Pact for Dryad. Then I can Expedition Map for Valakut. Try to do the thing that way. Could Pact for Liberator. It's not a great idea. And I want to leave the construct back to block. So they can't just suit something up with sort of Feast and Famine. It's irrelevant. They're not doing anything with their mana, so Have we drawn a land every single turn so far? We got 5 draw steps, sorry, we were on the play. 5 draw steps and drew a land every single turn. I think so, right? Pretty brutal. They are aggressively going after my amulets. Can I please draw an engineered explosives? Can I please have an engineered explosives? Can I please? Outland Liberator. Shit. So if I play Liberator, I can blow up the sphere. But if I do, I have to do it right now because the Saga can go get a Pithing Needle. So if I show them the Liberator, they're just going to go for that. So am I just better off holding onto that? The thing is, I don't know how much longer I have. Because then they're just going to make a construct, suit it up with Shadow Spear and the Sword of Feast and Famine. And that's going to clock me and my opponent's going to have a ton of mana. Counter up from Be a Sanctuary. There's a Golos in the sideboard. I think I have to play the Liberator here. So they make a construct. Right now is the time. Is there a chance that they have a second Dumping Sphere? I think I have to hedge against them not having a Dumping Sphere. I think this is where I'm at. If they have second Dumping Sphere, we're super dead. Cultivator Colossus, a meme or real? Real. But I don't think you want to be playing 4 copies of it. So the good thing is they can't get through this turn. We probably lose to a second Dump Sphere, knowing the texture of my hand. We probably lose to a second Dumping Sphere. What plums is Colossus Soul for Amulet? When Primeval Titan is not enough. Which it doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes. Just gonna throw Gracer under the bus. If they don't activate here, it's because they have 100% dispatch. No second damp sphere, no second damp sphere. Aaron with the tier 1 sub coming back for 38 months. Amulet back in the menu. It was always there. You just had to flip the menu, Aaron. Just had to, you know, turn the menu around. And it was on the other side. How many cards would you recommend main deck? If you're playing Karn, I recommend 3 or 4. Second page, got it. Yeah, exactly. My opponent says, I just drew the card I wanted to tutor off of the start trigger. Yikes. So I guess they have to name Slayer Stronghold here. What are we gonna do here? He names Karn the Great Creator. Come on, dude! I'm losing my mind here. This is insane. This is absurd. I have drawn a line every single draw step and 1 Outland Liberator. I wish, like, imagine Colossus right here. I wish I had a Colossus in my deck. So what are we doing now? What the hell can we do? I guess I can transmute for explosives if I resolve Titan right now. But I can't attack because the construct prevents me from doing that. So since I'm not attacking, I'm gonna make a token because it's free value. Get Amulet. Play this. Well, I guess I can transmute this turn actually because I would die to Damping Sphere. Should I just ignore Damping Sphere? I don't think I really can ignore Damping Sphere. Or do I have to just because I'm so... I mean, they fetch for it too, so I'm assuming that they drew the second Damping Sphere. So I'm just gonna do this. Maybe I'm a coward. Maybe I'm simply a coward, but... Torpor Orb. Okay. They swing with both. I'm gonna chump only one of them. And we know their last card in hand is a sword. Just for 1 more point of damage. Okay. Okay, let's draw. I want to draw engineered explosives. Can we draw engineered explosives? Are we just dead here? Make a token. Fire attack. I don't think I'm gonna get to untap here. This has been the most... This has been like the most frustrating game I've played in a long time. Transmute to EE. Great suggestion. How? You do realize that I have no amulet anymore, right? So do I have to gain life? I can gain 4 life here, up to 11. Chump this, chump the other one. I lose to trample damage, plus like this random critters attacking me. So that's not a line. I'm just dead, right? Deck just decided to not function. Dryad would have won. Pact would have won. Karn could have been fine actually. Karn would have been very impactful because it wouldn't have allowed my opponent to equip, which is what's gonna kill me. That moment when ads show up, Sean, you see what's going on, right? Like the ad shows up at the worst possible time to incentivize you to sub. My ploy worked perfectly. Everything just as planned. Yeah, nothing that I get does anything. Imagine drawing spells, man. Imagine drawing spells. Oh, that's really funny. It's taking the card from here, putting it here. That's why Moto is lagging. That's very funny. All right, see you next round. All right, here we are with another almost non-functional hand, but this one is actually kind of fine though, because we have one spell, you know? We have one spell, so it's fine. Turn 1 Godless Shrine. Oh boy. We are indeed in the fun bracket. Reasonable draw. So my opponent's dead next turn. Already got away with Phallic Rocket, he can do anything. Oh yeah. Them Bezos bucks. Thoughtseize bug, yeah. In fact, Inquisition is even worse than Thoughtseize because it actually upgrades your card. Oh no, Liliana, how can I ever beat a Liliana of the Veil? How could I ever beat the card Liliana of the Veil? Honestly, it's really it's fun. You know, like the fact that in modern leagues people get to play whatever the hell they want. It's just a good time, you know. Some people get to live the dream of casting Liliana of the Veil in the year 2021, you know. It really is a beautiful thing. It's anybody's game, really. Runner must be nice, says my opponent. Did you stop to realize that you are playing Liliana in 2021? Is that too much? Is this too much, Chad? Did I just overstep a boundary? Did I just go too far? Am I a toxic streamer? Am I a toxic streamer? I don't know. Maybe I'm a toxic streamer. I don't know. Did you stop to realize, put it in the A+ category? Yeah, I mean it's something fairly straightforward, right? Like, you're playing Liliana in 2021 and you're losing. It's just like, what did you expect? Streamer. Yo, I'm trying to help my opponent. They clearly are struggling, you know? They clearly are struggling, and they lost their way. They lost their way, and I'm just trying to, you know, get them back into reality. Trying to get them back into reality and just, you know, have them realize that their ways are just not the right ways. You know what I'm saying? What's your personal opinion about the Colossus version that Canister was playing these days? I don't know if you talked about it earlier. I streamed it twice, so you can go to YouTube to check out my VODs on it. I think it's legit. I like it a fair amount. I don't think that you want to play 4 copies of Colossus, but I think that Colossus is a good card to play. Should I say runner must be nice in chat? No, that one is too much. That one, I think it's too much. I'm gonna stop myself. I'm gonna have a little bit of, you know, discard that one. And that one. Do we pivot here? I guess it depends on what we draw. Found the growth. Yeah, I'm gonna pivot here. I think that we're gonna need the Saga tokens, so if my opponent has a second smallpox, c'est la vie, like I'm just accepting that I'm conceding to that, but I think we can out-Saga them. Yeah, opponent's playing just like Mardu Pox, I guess, or like Black White Pox, or whatever you want to call it. I love it how my opponent left it at that, you know? Like I gave them I gave them a little bit of a reality check, and my opponent just like, okay, they just didn't say anything. Biting Needle, name Ursa Saga without making a construct. Okay, you got it. It's nice to know that I'm only getting beaten down by a 2/2. As opposed to 2/3/3s. But I'm really struggling with that needle name. There's not that many options. Slayer's Stronghold, okay. Sure. Slayer's Stronghold is the pickup. So what does that mean? I'm making a token. I think that we're going the Saga route. So we're gonna take 5 here. Here comes a dude. Here comes another dude. Play an Amulet. Play a Saga. What is this, Kaya's Guile or something? It is Kaya's Guile. Sack a creature, create a 1/1. We have Fountain, so we're taking 6, then 6, but the Fountain means that we raise them back. Also, they can't attack next turn. Inquisition resolves. Take 6. Overclock's the last thing you have to follow. Beating Needle, naming Beating Needle. Beating Needle, naming Abandon Hope. That's a good line. I like that line. So we're gonna get second Amulet here. What can that do? I float mana. I just go for Ballista. I could go for Golos, which is funnier. Yeah, this is Levi's list. BH Mirror, thank you for that follow. I'm gonna play around removal here. I know that I could have done that, but if my opponent's last card is Fatal Push, I actually lose the race. So by doing this, my opponent pushes here, they chump block. I kill the Dalty Voidwalker, and... Yep. Saga creature, create a 1/1. So I guess I want to sack this one so that they are chomping here. And now I'm killing the Voidwalker. Funny enough, the fact that it gets exiled means I can get it again with Karn, which is pretty funny. Liliana. Okay. Saga token. They go face instead of at Karn. They go face instead of at Karn. They go face instead of at Karn? And then they complain in chat, dude? What the hell, man? Really? Like... Two, three, four, five, six. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna complain, chat, that's fine. That's cool, but just... I don't know, you know? It's... runner, I guess, you know? Runner, such a luck sack. Runner, such a luck sack. Sure. There's just... Like, I could take very small risks. But, like, why would I do that, though? I guess we can just transmute for another... For a second Valakut here. Opponent goes down to 1. Noob lucker. I am indeed a noob lucker. Anyway, see you next round. Alright, so... Shipped a couple of... I guess I shipped just one. This is a mold to 6. First hand was just too slow, not keepable. Ship this. It's a pretty good 5. Keep this. Bottom. Opponent says, hello, Mr. Streamer. Back to the break screen, please. It's a good break screen, okay? I think I'm exploring here. If we don't find a land drop, it's kind of awkward, but knowing my luck today, I will definitely find a land drop. I guess it would be good for me to find a land here, so I'm not gonna find a land drop. Oof. Woo! That's fire! Featherful figure to follow. What are your thoughts on the Naya Lands deck right now? Is it good playable? Honestly, I've been pretty stoked about Amulet, so I have not played Naya Lands in a really long time at this point. Are we playing against for color control? Maybe. Oh no, my opponent's a Lucksack. I like that they're playing the correct art. Opponent confirmed Lucksack. I could play Bounce here. Could play Bounce, because next turn we're going to have 4, 5, 6 with the second Amulet. And that allows me to continue developing my mana. So this is a little bit on the risky side of things. Just a little bit on the risky side of things. Oh, wait a second. I mean, I could have Titaned there, I guess. But I have to pay for double Pact, which I guess I would have had enough for. So I should have probably Asusa, Pact for Asusa and then Titan there. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. We do get owned by Solitude though. So probably not worth doing. Construct. Oh, this is creativity? They're gonna K command, yeah. Prismatic command, whatever. Something command. So play this out, and now I'm feeling kind of sad that I didn't go for it last turn. I was putting my opponent up for color control though. The fact that they actually are on creativity is kind of a beating. This matchup's really bad for us. Mull to 5, not great. Second command? Jeez. Or what? Fairy? I mean, we can still find a bounce land. What are your thoughts on 61 cards versus 60? Why? Is my answer to that. You need to have a really, really strong justification to have that be a reasonable thing, really. So we're probably gonna lose here. Yeah. I don't think we can win anymore. I mean, we can if my opponent just doesn't have cards in their hand anymore, but they have 6. So... Also, I'm kind of losing to the onboard rain as well. Yeah. I'm about to be facing an Emrakul and an Angel. The only thing I'll say is at least kill me quickly, you know? Make it painless. Or make it quick. Fairy. Okay. Guess we play on. If they have Remand, though, I think I conceded to Remand. I think we're conceding to Remand. Damn it. Yeah, okay. So we have pack to pay for next turn. Like, we just can't win anymore. Relic is kind of fine. I mean, it's just... Our deck is kind of garbage against theirs. Just kind of by design. Our cards just don't line up well against our opponents. Yeah, I know. I was the one having that discussion with Sam Black in the in the Amulet Discord. So yeah, I know the arguments. I think that what's the word I'm looking for here? Am I keeping this hand? I'm not keeping this hand, right? I guess I am. How should I put it? Like, I think that the perceived EV gained doesn't really offset the potential EV lost, if that makes sense. Relic U. Cavern is actually a sicko draw here. So we can go Beast here. Play Gracer, bounce. Next turn we get to play Dryad, uncounterable. And following turn, an uncounterable Titan. So this Cavern of Souls was pretty good. Pretty good. Remand me, baby. Show me that remand. Show me that remand. Is my opponent gonna block? Are they gonna block? Yes! Yes! That's how you know that my opponent knows what's up. That's how you know. I'm just saying, good block. This is what Magic really is about, you know? Magic really is about the little things. It's about the little things. That is really what Magic is about. I mean, they gotta crack the clue here. That was funny. That was fun, and I enjoyed it. As it should be. Alright, I mean, this hand really worked out probably in the best conceivable way. Like, that Cavern of Souls top deck was just... Let's name Giant. Let's cast this card. Let's make it uncounterable. And say yes. And I think that we go for it right now. Face, face, face. Face is the place. What is this strange brew am I playing? I don't recognize it from the top tiers. Wow. Straight up, Stab shows up, coming in hot with that jab right there. Brutal. Do you think won this Bajuka Bog? Do I even want this Bajuka Bog? I don't think so. Everything else is fine. This is a hand. Oh, what a noob locker I am. These are the noob locker draws. These are the top T. Oh, man. Hashtag never lucky. I want this Saga to pop off, so... Turn 3 wins so slow. Yeah, damn it. My favorite thing about this is that because we have the Dryad and the Karn, we're just so good against Remand. I guess they could have Wear Tear. Imagine if they had Wear Tear, dude. Don't do it. Don't have the Wear Tear. Please don't have the Wear Tear. Please don't have the Wear Tear. Okay. The fairy is kind of fine. We have Cultivator? No, we don't. Are we May facing this? Well, they did have the word. F's in chat for me. Karn just doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, Karn just doesn't do shit, so I'm just gonna go for Dryad. Is Cultivator a thing? Yes, very much so. Cultivator is very much a thing. What's the story on the baby? I've been waiting what feels like 9 months. I'm waiting for the new the newborn pilot's Tron stream. Maybe we can do like a newborn pilot's Titantron stream. She's just like 3-2. Glorious 3-2. Float green. Amulet. play Dryad. Well, show me that remand. So the good thing is that if they remand, that means that they don't have the combo here. So let's go Stronghold Valakut. This forces the issue on whatever sort of interaction they have, or if they want to go for the combo, they have to do it right now, which they do. What do we find? Funnily enough, the fact that they find Emrakul is just great for me. If they had found the Angel, maybe that would have been worse for us. But now that we know that they have nothing, they're actually just dead. And Dryad's feeling frisky too. Opponent says lost the roll on creatures. Yep. Should play more angels. Always yes, always yes. Face ya. Oh man, I should have killed the Teferi. Misplay. Punt. See you next round. Alright, what do we got here? This hand is great. I've realized just how great turn 1 Gracer into Urza Saga is. Like, I think I'm starting to suspect that the printing of Urza Saga, in a way, it almost makes Stacy, I don't want to say irrelevant, but kind of irrelevant. I mean, that's not entirely true, because you can just, like, Stacy on your own upkeep, so, like, that's not 100% true, but still. So my opponent's gonna have turn 3 Tron. Can we find an Azusa or Pact? That would be awesome. How many cultivators do you think we're trying to put in May or Cyber? Between 2 and 3 in the main is what I think. Oh, here's the card that I asked for. Awesome. Pact for Azusa. And this is why I like to play more Azusas, you know, just like Azusa is just so good in so many spots. Like, just having access to more Azusas has been great for me. I've really enjoyed it. Have to make sure we can pay for Pact. That's kind of the only thing that matters here. So you're gonna leave the green source in play. And here we're gonna get Tolaria West and another green source, I think. This means that Karn minus doesn't kill me. So we'll see how this goes. All right, my opponent does indeed have the Karn, so now they kind of just have to kill the Primetime, which means that I get to kill the Karn back. And we get to cast another Titan this turn, which is nice. Sí, apagué el horno. Literalmente lo que acaba de pasar. So we can haste Titan. But we can cast it. Can't play around Morcol. Dude, like, you know, they say when nature calls run. That's what Primetime says, when nature calls run. But the real thing is when the wife calls run. That's what it actually should say, you know what I'm saying? When the wife calls, you better run. Summoner's Pact. Prime time. Prime time. Yes. ECT West Growth Chamber here, I think. So an argument for trying to play around Oblivion Stone, but I think setting up the next Titan is going to be more important. Wife is a force of nature. True. Oblivion Stone. You mean my Tron opponent again had the literal perfects? Like the exact card that they needed? What a noob lucker. So that's a bad draw. Can we win next turn? So 1, 2, 3. That's primetime mana. That's haste mana. So I guess I have to Vesuva, copy in Garrison this turn. Next turn, no, because then next turn I'm short on lands. Damn it. So I can't haste here. Can't haste. That's actually a blatant lie. I can haste. Let's fucking go, Crumbling Vestige. Let's fucking go, Crumbling Vestige. Let's go, Crumbling Vestige. Vestige, Saga. Getting there, bad boy. Think we get, do we get another Saga here? 2 to pay for Pact, 1 token, 2 tokens, 3 tokens. Yeah, let's get another Saga. There's the argument for getting Valakut, but I think a third Saga is going to be harder for my opponent to play around, because I can even get around an Ulamog. I can't really get around an Oblivion Stone, though. Like back-to-back O-Stones, I guess. And now here, if my opponent... We can make hasty constructs, and hasty constructs are lethal, so that's good. Ursa's Tower. This is awesome. Oh, this is gonna be great. Ah, this is gonna be fantastic. Oh, I love what's about to happen. I so love what is about to happen. Check this shit out. I don't want to show them the Karn. I can win with what's on play already. I guess actually that's not true, because my opponent can... They can... they can't dismember. Is there any way that I get blown out? 1, 2, 3 to make a token. 1, 2. Yeah, no, there's no way that I get blown out, so this is fine. Yeah, I guess they can let me attack, and they do. Okay. Guess we're not cycling the Chromatic Star. Valakut. So I guess I have to show them the Karn. 1, 2, 3. So I don't lose to Oblivion Stone because Karn takes care of that. Yeah, I could have. Oh, I guess it's also lethal. Never mind. uh, all roads lead to Rome, my friends. All of them lead to Rome. Ghost Quarter, Over Cavern, Liberator, Over Explore. That's it. Everything was lethal. let's just settle on everything was lethal. I was thinking of Warping Whale. Warping Whale would have been like a removal spell that if I go for the construct line, then my opponent like I activate Stronghold and then my opponent can Warping Whale there in response. But yeah, it just didn't matter. Just Kremlin Vestige. MVP. I remember back when Punt was like literally the only person that was jamming one Kremlin Vestige in his Amulet Bloom deck lists. Nobody ever followed him, and here we are. Many years after. And Kremlin Vestige is almost a staple. I could have got another token. Did I have mana to get like a second token and haste? Did I? Maybe I miscounted. I thought that I was 1 mana short. I mean, I guess I did play the card, so I had a lot of mana. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's probably just fine. Sweet. Again, it just doesn't matter whatsoever. Doesn't matter whatsoever. The only ad for opponent was another wife call. Yeah, that would have been hard to beat, to be honest. Lewandex. That would have been hard to beat. Now Canister puts two. I mean, I think it was Jose who used two vestiges, and then Canister kind of followed suit there. His hand is pretty strong. If opponent has force, we sort of die. I guess even Nature's Claim would be kind of a beating. Not as bad as force, obviously, but... You know what's my favorite thing? Is when your opponent plays the Blast Zone and you just play another 1-drop into your opponent's Blast Zone. So let's do this, so they can't dismember a Susan response and I get to play the Dryad. And then let's play that. Decent plus turn. But yeah, this is my favorite. Opponent plays Blast Zone, we're gonna find another 1-drop here. It's just like, yep, just doubling down. Doubling down with your own board Blast Zone. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Just cycle away. Just cycle away. All right, we're gonna get that nice little 3 and 2. Love to see it. Love to see it. Nothing like playing with your food, man. There's something special about like going above lethal, you know? When you could have had lethal, you know, like because I could have made lethal very easily here with only one Titan. But what if I've made super lethal and got even more value out of my cards that are literally just winning the game, so it's sort of impossible for me to get even more value. Opponent taking it on the chin. Opponent taking it on the chin. They're like, you don't get it. You don't got it. You got nothing on me. You got absolutely nothing on me. What's going on with our clock? Sometimes like Moto gets buggy. I know. First time you ever heard this, right? Sometimes Moto gets buggy. All right, so that was the league. Somehow that was longer than I was expecting, but yeah. We lost the first 2 rounds with some garbage hands, some absolute garbage hands. And then things started to, you know, come back up a little bit in the second round, but it's good stuff. It's just good stuff. I think this list is cool. I think we're overdoing it a little bit on the Karn wish board, but a bunch of these things are things that you are just willing to bring in sometimes. So that makes it not so bad in my opinion. But you know, you could be playing some other stuff, and that's kind of what we're gonna see with the other deck list that we're gonna be playing right now. So that's gonna be it for this one though. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video, which is gonna be with the other deck list that top 8 at the MTG Vegas event. See you there.